What is up, y'all? Howdy doody, howdy doody. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. Oh, just now getting woke up and getting my brain all fired up. Let's see if we can get a couple of you up in here. Maybe get some inspiration for the day. Because, boy, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be a busy boy today. I'm going to be a busy old boy. I think I have 13 readings to do today. So I ain't gonna see the light of day. That's probably about it. Oh man. It's gonna be alright though, man. It's gonna be alright. I wouldn't actually honestly rather be spending my days doing anything else. That's about it. That's about the only thing that I actually enjoy doing anymore is just staying at home, working, chilling, sleeping. Unless I'm going to the gym, and then that's pretty much it. Let's smash this week out. Dude, can you believe 2024 is halfway over? I know I say this every year. I've been saying this every year since 2021. Yeah, about 2021. Because ever since the clock struck 2020, time has doubled. And I mean literally doubled. I'm not saying that to kind of exaggerate the point. I mean literally doubled. Ever since the clock struck 2020, a year feels like 6 months used to feel prior to 2020. Have you noticed that? Like consistently, if you pay attention to the way time passes, it has doubled. And I know they always say, well, time flies when you're having fun. And the one that everybody always says is the older you get, the faster it flies. And I'm not saying that that's not the case. The older I've gotten, yeah, it speeds up. It gets a little bit faster. But nothing compared to after 2020. I remember by the time 2022 rolled around, it felt like ever since 2020, from 2020, 2021, 2022 felt like just one long year. It's been wild, man. And now here we are, 2024 is halfway over. Man. Anyway, I'm ready to get 2024 knocked out. Because you know that 2024, before it's over at some point, is going to get crazy. Now, I assumed, I was prepared for the shit to hit the fan early on in the year. But everybody I was connected to was telling me, no, it's not going to be till the end of the year. And I'd be like, no, dude, look what they did last election year. They didn't waste no fucking time. And they'd be like, nah, I don't think so. The way everything is looking, the way everything is going, they're going to wait till the end of the year around election time. And so far, it's looking like they're pretty accurate. Because things have been relatively smooth this year, and we're halfway through. So I'm like, damn, man, they're right. They're probably going to wait until election time, November 2024, to throw the doo-doo in the fan, Anyway, though, let's just go ahead and get this shit over with. Let's get it over with, I'm kind of looking forward to it. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Yes, glad to be back in Vegas. Yep, it's home now. We don't have the house unpacked. That's the only thing. We still have, probably about 10 boxes sitting around that we just haven't unpacked yet. It's mainly home decor shit, So like stuff that goes on the walls and whatnot. And Leah's really, really particular about the decor and things matching and this and that. And so it's like, okay, whatever. We have this spare bedroom in here It hasn't even been set up yet. So I told her yesterday, I was like, look, I'm just going to take all the boxes that haven't been unpacked and I'm going to put it in the spare bedroom. We don't even have the guest bed set up in there. So we had this extra fucking mattress that we went to go get a new mattress about 3 or 4 months ago. And we went into this little furniture store somewhere in California, Chino Hills, and we saw this really cool mattress and we ordered it. And then when we came and picked it up and then took it home, or no, they delivered it to us. That's right. We opened it up. It was not the mattress that we ordered. It was not. And we went up in there and we're like, yo, what the fuck? You gave us the wrong mattress. And Leah went in there and caused a big scene. She went in there and caused a big scene. And anyway, though, so we ended up getting stuck with this mattress in their little agreement thing. There's no refunds or returns. It's sold as is. But it turns out they fucked up because the inventory had updated. So the version of that mattress they had sitting on the floor was 2 years old. And it was their fuck up. They didn't, they didn't replace the showpiece with the new mattress that took its place. So we got stuck with this fucking mattress we didn't even want. $2,000 mattress, Anyway, so it's sitting in the guest bedroom. We don't even have a bed frame for it yet or nothing. But yeah, other than that though, we're about 80% settled in. 80, 85, 90%, something like that. It's all right, man. It's all good. The only thing too that's a little bit of a weird adjustment is that where we are in Henderson is like far away from everything. It's only one thing I don't like about the location where we are is that we are all the way back in the suburbs. And I'm talking suburbs. We are at the very, very back of this huge cluster of suburbs called Anthem Highlands and Henderson. And we're in the very back of it. So in our old house in Vegas, we were right there in the middle of everything. Like you would just leave our house and exit the neighborhood and everything was right there. Every fucking thing. Grocery stores, gas stations, strip malls. We were right, our house and our neighborhood was right in the middle of everything. You didn't have to go very far to get to anything. Now it's kind of not the case. Now we got to drive a long ways. You're going to have to drive at least 5 minutes. And actually, honestly, we're about a 10-minute drive away from the closest gas station. It's the only thing that's a little bit of a drawback, but that's the path, man. Duality. There's always going to be some sort of dualistic something, no matter what you do in life. No matter what it is that you accomplish, no matter what you achieve, there's always going to be some other dualistic, whatever good you get, there's going to be something bad that comes along with it. And that's just life, man. That's just this fucking dimension. Anywho, though, what are y'all up to? California has hire every fucking thing. Hire everything. I mean, it's just, California be charging money for stupid shit. I had to pay $300 a year for my daughter to ride the school bus at a public school. Okay? You have to pay 10 cents a piece for grocery bags. Grocery bags. Okay? And the bags are actually pretty cool. I mean, you want to save them. They're real thick, heavy-duty bags. From what I've heard, though, they just started making them thick and heavy-duty because everybody started bitching when they started charging for grocery bags. You go to the grocery store, or any store for that matter, if you want the bags, that the store is supposed to provide for you, you got to pay 10 cents a piece. Is it 10 cents? Yeah. 10 cents a piece. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just find any way they can to get into your pockets. Any way they can. And man, I'm gonna tell you what, if you don't have an abundance mindset, you ain't gonna make it in California. And that challenged my abundance mindset more than anything I've experienced on my path. Seriously, But even at that, I there's something about the energy there that I can't put into words. Beautiful landscape. I still to this day think that California is one of the most beautiful states to look at. You go there and look around, it's gorgeous, beautiful landscapes. But there's something energetically going on there that doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel right. I've never liked it. I had hoped that it would just kind of grow on me, but it never did. Matter of fact, I experienced something really, really weird that I've never experienced in my life. See, in my whole adult life, I've never experienced what it feels like to be at home. I've never experienced that. I've lived in so many different towns and cities and states and whatnot, and traveled from coast to coast, and I've just been bouncing around, ever since I was in my late 20s. Never, ever experienced what it feels like to feel at home. So I didn't realize how much Vegas had grown on me the last time, because I never experienced that before. It was something totally new to me. Like I said, it was making myself move away from Vegas and that was one of the hardest things I ever made myself do. One of the hardest things. We were so comfortable and happy and peaceful. We just got bored and wanting to do the next thing. And I was thinking the whole time I was there, I was like, man, I'll settle in. I'll get used to this. It'll take a little bit of time, but I'll settle in. I'll get used to this. And that never happened. Now, once we got up there closer to the 1 year mark, we started, this is kind of hard to explain. Once you sit in shit long enough, you're going to stop smelling it, right? Okay. But it didn't make it enjoyable. Just because I started getting kind of a little bit adjusted, and, because I had been there for a year, it never grew on me, ever. And that house we lived in, dude, ugh. Y'all seen any of the videos I posted on Facebook about that house? Dude, that house was creepy, fucking weird. And it looked like something that was built in like the 1800s or some shit. And then we had that dungeon bathroom downstairs with like brick floors, and it was this creepy dungeon bathroom that had this chain pull thing where you flush the toilet. It was just a weird, freaky, strange, eerie ass house that we lived in. It was built in 1996. It was falling the fuck apart. Here's the thing. Look, California, we had a house that was 2,000 square feet. Okay? Our rent was $5,000 a month for an old 2,000 square foot house that was falling the fuck apart. $5,000 a month. Now we come here, this house is 3,100 square feet. And it's new. It's modern. It's nicer. Everything is nicer. It's solid. It's a nice house for $29 or $28, like $2,800 a month. Like, it's a bigger, prettier neighborhood with nicer, newer houses. $5,000 a month, small, crappy house falling apart, $5,000 a month. Come here to Vegas, 3,100 square feet, $2,800 a month. Come on, man. I mean, at the end of the day, we were there, California, like I'm sitting here thinking, what am I even doing here? I'm coming here to grab onto some business opportunities. And oh, believe me, I had my foot in the door of some big opportunities there in California. I did. Okay. I'm not going to go into full detail, but I'll just say this much. On more than one occasion, I was sitting in a room being interviewed by Hollywood producers. Okay. One of which was throwing around the idea that I could have my own show. Okay. I had my foot in the door of some huge opportunities, but I'm sitting there so torn because I'm like, man, if I get all the way into this door, I'm going to be stuck here and I'm not happy. I don't like it here. So for the whole year, I'm just torn. I'm going back and forth like, man, like, my foot is in the door of some places that I never even dreamed possible. But I don't know if I even want that to happen anymore. Like, I'm not happy here. I don't like it here. If something does pop off here, I'm stuck. And I just went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like, man, I don't know what I want, you know? So finally, that's when Leah threw out the idea of coming back to Vegas. And I said, if you can get that door to open, fuck it, we'll go. We'll go, fuck it. So anyway, long story short, in a nutshell, I would rather be home and happy than somewhere that makes you feel miserable. I don't care. I don't care what it's for, what the circumstances are for. Like, it's been a big lesson in what true happiness really is. So anyway, just to give you a little bit more, couple of little sprinkles of some of the behind the scenes stuff, you know. Anyway, though. But yeah, oh man, so glad to be back home. So glad to be back home. Anyway, though. I don't know, is Vegas expensive? Is it? I don't know. I don't think it is. Maybe it is to some people. I don't know. I remember back where I'm from, everybody acted like $1,000 a month rent was really fucking expensive, you know? And maybe it is. I don't know. But like when you look, what I'm looking at is logic. Okay, what makes sense? This is what I'm looking at. When I'm talking about expenses, I'm talking about what makes sense. Okay, 2,000 square feet, crappy, falling the fuck apart, old ass house, $5,000 a month, 3,100 square feet, nicer, newer, more modern, 2,800 a month. The logic doesn't add up to me. You know, the logic. Now, if we moved into a house that was 4,000 square feet, then that would make sense to pay $5,000 a month. It makes perfect sense. I would have no qualms, no argument about that at all. 4,000 square feet, bigger house, you know, newer, more modern, and a nicer neighborhood. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, nothing makes sense in California. Nothing does. It's weird, dude. California is weird. It's like, well, and I mean, I've even heard people talk about this. It's California Republic, right? It's like its own little country. They got their own weird ass little laws and shit. It really seriously could pass as a totally different country. I think I've heard somebody say one time that they even have their own constitution. It's fucking, California's weird, dude. It's really, really weird. It's a strange place, but beautiful. If you want to see some beautiful scenery, you know, they got some of the most gorgeous, they got everything there. Everything all packed into one. They got the desert. They got the tropical beaches. They got the goddamn country. Dang along with dang dong. They got the city. If you could imagine a landscape that exists on planet Earth, all of the landscapes that exist on planet Earth are crammed into California. And you can just drive from one to the other. And, you know, some of them, they're even mixed together, you know. It's weird. It's cool. But, yeah, I'm good on that. Of all the traveling that I've done. Well, I can't say that. I have lived in some places that were very unpleasant, but not for very long. I never stayed that long. I would have to say, honestly, of all the places that I lived, probably the least pleasant place that I've ever lived on my whole journey was Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio, in the wintertime of early 2019. Was it 19? Yeah. Wait a minute, hold up. No, it was late 2018. That's right. Yeah, late 2018, because I left Maine, went to Ohio, only stayed in Cleveland for a few weeks. And then I went and stayed for a month, way, way up in Ashtabula. Is that how you say it? Right across the street from Lake Erie. There was this lady that let me lay my head for about a month. And then I left there and went to Phoenix, Arizona. And that was in early 2019. And then I left Phoenix and went to southeast Idaho and stayed in Pocatello for about 6 months. And that's when me and Leah met. And then me and Leah went from Idaho to Bullhead City, Arizona. And then we went from Bullhead City, Arizona to Vegas. And that's pretty much where most of you remember, most of you who have followed me for a bunch of years, that's pretty much where most of you saw my story begin there. But anyway, don't need to keep beating that daggone drum to death. Anyway, y'all got any good plans? I'm gonna be a busy old ass boy today, man. Oh, I'm gonna be a busy boy. Let me see what I got here. Hang on. Oh shit, this is a fat stack of paper. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 readings. And one came in last night, a one day, came in at 1 a.m. So, let's see, would that make it due tonight? I don't know. I might see if I can squeeze it in tonight, but I'm gonna be a busy old ass boy today. I'm gonna be a busy old boy. Hang on a second. I'm gonna get some good vibes in the air in here. I'm gonna be a busy boy, sitting in my studio here all day long, man. But like I said, I'm at that age now where I have nothing better to do. Live in Vegas. If I get bored, I can find something to do, you know. But if I'm not bored, fuck, I'll just sit at home and work, man. All right. I can't promise I'm gonna be on here too long. I just really want to make it a point to make this at some part of my fucking routine again. Getting on here and blabbing it up. Got you reading tarot when I got my first deck. I mean my first deck. When I got my first deck, I wasn't even on YouTube when I got my first deck. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Technically, my first deck was I don't even know how to pronounce it, the Thoth deck? T-O-T-H? The Thoth, T-H-O-T-H or whatever? That was my first deck. That was way back in early to mid 2018. And I didn't like it. I wasn't vibing with it. I got it, looked at it, tried to learn it, tossed it to the side. And then that's when I went back to the spiritual store and picked up the Tarot of Dreams, which reminds me, I need to get another copy of that fucker. I need to get another copy of the Tarot of Dreams. Anyway, though, yep, I have at least no less than 10 decks on my table at any given time. I don't think I've ever seen another reader do that. It just kind of, when I first started off, like I said, the reader that inspired me to read with multiple decks was the Illust Illuminator. I haven't watched her in a while, so I don't know if she still does the same thing or not. But back in the day when I used to watch, she had like 2 or 3 decks sitting there, and then she would pull one spread with one deck, and then she would pull the next spread with a different deck. And I was like, that's cool. I want to do that. So I started reading with 2 decks. And I don't really know exactly how it happened. I was just always wanting to buy different decks and learn to read, you know, looking with all these different decks. And then it got to the point where I was like, you know what? Every time I pull a new spread, I'm going to grab a different deck. And the reason being is because you ever see whenever I pull one spread with one deck and then the next spread, like the same cards come out, that's the reason why I do that. Because if the fucking death card comes out 3 times in a row, it would be easy to say, oh, you didn't shuffle it very good. If the death card comes out 3 times in a row for one of my readings, it's because that's supposed to come out, because I never pull 2 spreads in a row with the same deck, ever, 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 unless I'm on the road. You know, when we go travel, I'll take maybe 2 decks with me. And every now and then, depending, sometimes I might only take 1, but for the very most part, when I'm working, I have at least 10 decks sitting on my table. About time for me to get some new ones though, man. About time. There's only one that I have had for 3 straight years. And this is one of my favorites. The Universal Rider-Waite. I've had this one since 2021. You all know that sometimes when my decks get piling up, I'll just put them on eBay and get rid of them. And I do that maybe once or twice a year, something like that. But this is one that I'm never getting rid of. I don't know why. I don't know why. Whenever it gets to the point to where it just won't shuffle at all, I'm just going to stick it somewhere. I'm going to put a rubber band around it and sit it somewhere, you know. So anyway, though, it's about time for me to get some new ones. A lot of the ones that I have now are getting to the point. I don't know now that, see, here's the weird thing. When you're in like a non-desert climate, the cards sometimes will stick together on a hot, humid day, especially if it rains. Like in California, every time it rained, my cards would stick together and I couldn't shuffle them. And now though, in the desert, you don't worry about that because it's real dry here. So you don't ever have to worry about the cards sticking together and shit. So it's not as bad, but man, look, check this out. I think the last time I got rid of decks on eBay, I sold my Gilded Tarot deck. And I thought, no, I'll just get a new one. All right, that's like Gilded Tarot. Who every fucking body and their mama's grandma fucking uses the Gilded Tarot. So I go on Amazon, I can't find it. I can't fucking find this motherfucker. I'm like, what? I had to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. I finally found one, and it's going to take like 2 weeks to get here. The Gilded Tarot. Now I got the Gilded Royale. You know, like basically the sister deck, the Gilded Royale. It's just newer and improved, and it's borderless, and I like this one. This is definitely, you know, on my list of favorites, but man, man, if you're a tarot reader, come on, man. I think there's 2 decks that everyone should have as a reader. 2 decks. The Gilded Tarot and this one. And this one, man. You got to have this one. You have to have this one, dude. You got to have this one. Everybody has to have this one, dude. I think if you're a reader, it's required that you have this one and the Gilded Tarot, you know? I mean, honestly, any regular Rider-Waite, honestly, but another one of my favorite Rider-Waites is the Tarot Original 1909. I love this one. But yeah, anyway, though. Anywho, whoops. I'm going to be a busy old boy today. What time is it? Almost 8. So I'm probably going to be hopping up out of here in a couple of minutes. I need to start coming on here and doing this a little earlier like I used to back in the day. I used to come on here like 5:30, 6 in the morning. I don't be doing that no more. I don't be getting on here for a full hour anymore. But anywho. Yeah, that's the reason why, you know, when the same cards come out multiple times, it's like, that's the fucking message. That is the message. Absolutely. Every now and then though, man, like today, I'm gonna have to space my shit out. Like I'm probably gonna start working here at about 9 a.m. See, I have 13. So if I do 4 of them, there's no time limit to my readings, but usually I try not to make them any shorter than 20 minutes. I try not to. Sometimes you can't help it though. Every now and then somebody will come through with some kind of situation and the message comes out like that. And, but I try to stretch it out and make it at least 20 minutes. But usually it's somewhere around the ballpark of between 25 and 30 minutes. So 4 readings is in the ballpark of 2 hours worth of work. So it'd be 10, 11. Now take a little break and I don't have to meditate. I'm a meditator, y'all. Or at least take a nap, and nap till about 1, maybe noon or 1. And then let's see, if I do 4 more, that's 8. That'd be done with that about maybe 3, somewhere around 3. And then take another little break. And then do the last 5 before 11 p.m. And then try to get something on my main channel. Man, there ain't no way I'm gonna have the energy to do the fucking weekly forecast today. There's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no way. There is no way. I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow. How many do I have tomorrow? Hang on. Okay, so far tomorrow doesn't look that bad. Oh man, still a few though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got 4 for tomorrow. That's not horrible. That's normal. That's a normal day. Okay. All right, hang on. Anywho, that's gonna be my day, man. That's gonna be my day. Our fucking anniversary's coming up on the 9th. So that's gonna be the next day that we look forward to. It's so funny because our anniversary is the same day as our wedding anniversary. So we met and made it official on July 9th, 2019. And we got married July 9th, 2022. It was just interesting how that ended up working out, because when we were looking for venues and whatnot for a wedding, the venue that she had been talking about, she's like, I want to get married here. It's called the Revere Golf Club in Henderson. Nice place. And she was looking at the available dates, and there were only 3 dates available all year. Now, all the rest of them was booked up. There were only 3 dates available, and one of them was July 9th. So she was like, we got to fucking do that. We got to do that. We got to get married on our anniversary date. So, yeah, it's kind of like people say, well, your anniversary, how long you been together? Is that when you got married, or is that when you met? And I'm like, both. It's both, We met in Salt Lake City, Utah. That poor girl, man, good God. We met, and she drove from Yucaipa, California to Salt Lake City, Utah, just to spend one night with me, and then turned around and drove back the next day. And then after that, she was like, well, we made it official. What are we gonna do? Because I was living up in Idaho and she was down in California. She was like, I'm ready to fucking bounce. I'm ready to bounce. I'll come to you. So she fucking threw away everything she owned, except for what would fit in the backseat of her car. And she drove 1,000 miles damn near to Idaho to live with me in a hotel. And that's how we started out, man. That's how we started out. And then we went from the hotel in Idaho, then we went and got a fully furnished little 1-bedroom apartment in Bullhead City, Arizona. Then we upgraded to a 3-bedroom apartment when we got the kids. And then we had to bounce the fuck out of there, and that's when we went to Vegas together. But anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah, anniversary's coming up. That's going to be fun. Don't know what all we're going to do exactly. Our first 1-year anniversary, we did the helicopter ride over the Vegas Strip. That was fucking badass. And for our second anniversary, we went to like this, wait a minute. Yeah, for our second anniversary, we went to like this spa thing or whatever, got massages and at this weird spa or whatever. And then the third anniversary, we got fucking married. So on July 9th, we've been together 5 years. 5 years, July 9th, married 2. Yeah. So that's what's coming up for us. Other than that, then we can just sit back and chill for my favorite time of the year, the fucking holidays, man. That's my favorite. It's my favorite, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just where we are, but there's a very something about being here, and it's weird. You wouldn't think that the holidays would be alive in the desert, but there's something about the holidays here in Vegas. I can't wait to see what Halloween is like in this neighborhood, because we live in a big fucking neighborhood. It's huge. It's huge. A ginormous fucking cluster of neighborhoods back here. And I bet you, if it's anything like our old neighborhood, which our old neighborhood was a pretty decent size, but it's probably at least 3, 4, 5 times bigger than our old neighborhood. It's a big cluster of a bunch of different neighborhoods. It's gonna be fucking lit, dude. Our old neighborhood, Halloween was fucking popping, dude. I've never seen so many houses go all fucking out, dude. All out. It's amazing. So I'd love to see, hopefully, I don't know how many kids there are though in this neighborhood. I'm not sure. We haven't really got to know any of our neighbors. Pretty sure there's a kid that lives next door. But as far as other children, I don't know how many live close by or how many are, I don't know. But as big of a neighborhood as it is, there's got to be a bunch of kids. Everybody's celebrating Halloween, trick-or-treating and shit, right? Man, and then when Christmas time rolls around in the old neighborhood, the lights on every fucking house was just popping. I just love it, man. I love it. It's my favorite time of year is the holidays. I love it. The last quarter of the year. Because as a kid, looking back on my childhood, those were the only fucking happy memories that I had, you know? Only happy memories. Now, that has nothing to do with how I was raised. I was raised by my grandparents. They provided me with the most amazing childhood I could have asked for. I was just a really troubled kid. Had a lot of problems in here. I was just a very troubled kid. And the happiest times of my childhood were the fucking holidays. Christmas, man, I came from one of them families. We celebrated Christmas, right? That was the only time of the year that the whole family came to the same house, you know? And when you walk in the stores, you see all the decorations up, and you hear the songs playing and shit. You walk outside and the air is cool and cold and crisp. I was so disappointed by Christmas in fucking California. So disappointed. I tried so hard to get the vibe going, but it wasn't there. It really wasn't. It was 80 fucking degrees on Christmas. It was 80 fucking degrees. Hardly anybody in the neighborhood we were in fucking celebrated. There were no lights up. It wasn't, no. SoCal is not where it's at for Christmas, for me. Because where I'm from, you know, over there, southern Indiana, northern Kentucky area, where I'm from, it's not uncommon at all for there to be snow and ice on the ground at Christmas, you know? So that is one thing that I do like about here, is that it may take a little bit. You know, Halloween may be kind of hot. You know, it's kind of warm around Halloween, but it doesn't take too much longer after that. As soon as we start getting into November, the temperatures start dropping and it starts getting chilly. It'll get chilly here. It'll get real chilly. And it's so strange because, if you come from the East Coast, especially if you live in New England, you come to Vegas in the middle of the winter, you'll probably be walking around in shorts and a t-shirt. And everybody be like, oh my God, aren't you freezing? And you'll look at them like, what the fuck? You don't know what cold is, you know? I remember those good old days. Stay here for a little bit. It is weird how your body adjusts. It is so weird. The summertime, though, the sun, the Las Vegas sun out there right now. Well, not now, but later on today. when you first come here, if you ain't ever been here, the fucking sun in Vegas in the middle of July will zap the life out of you, dude. It's intense. But after you stay here for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, your body adjusts to it. Your body will adjust to it. It'll get to the point to where, yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but it's not that big a deal. And then when wintertime rolls around, 50 degrees feels like fucking frigid sub-zero temperatures. It's crazy. It's weird how your body will adjust like that, you know? So I've been telling Leah for the longest time, one of the things that's like on my bucket list that I want to do is I want to experience a New York City Christmas. Just for Christmas. Everybody says it's different now. That every time I say that, people from New York are like, "Oh, it's not the same." You know, something, I don't know why. Don't remember why they say it's not the same, but they say, "Oh, it's not the same, Christmas in New York." Well, that's kind of a bummer, but I would love to experience that. But Leah didn't grow up around lots of snow and ice. Not really. Boy, if you ain't never been around snow and ice before, you know, and you think 50, 40 degrees is cold, freezing cold, whoo, you get out there in that 5, 10, 15 degree fucking weather with snow and ice, you won't be able to walk. You won't be able to walk. I can remember when I lived in Maine, man. Oh, this one time it got down to negative 30? Was it negative 30, I think? I was like, oh, all the life is dead around here. All the life is dead. We had just bought a brand new car and woke up in the morning, it wouldn't start. Brand new car with like 15 miles on it. Wouldn't start. Wouldn't start. It was too cold. So I had to walk to my workplace, which was only 2 blocks away. It was like a 3-4 minute walk from my house. I almost didn't make it. I'm layered up in probably 3 or 4 pair of pants, you know, like 4 sweaters and the coveralls, the Carhartt coveralls. I didn't do nothing. Didn't do nothing. That negative 30 fucking sliced straight through that shit like a goddamn razor blade. And I can remember it felt like my eyeballs were about to pop. And I only make it a half a block down the street. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking make it. I am not going to make it. But then I'm in this weird place where it's like, well, I have to. It was so weird, man. So anyway, I get there. I end up getting the jump box thing for the car. I come back to the house. We get the car started. And I'm thinking, ain't no way anything survived this shit. Because we were in the middle of the forest, you know, up there in Maine. I don't know if you know anything about Maine, but it ain't nothing but a big ass forest with a couple of towns. That's Maine, basically. And there's wildlife like you wouldn't fucking believe. I mean, dude, it's crazy. I'm like, dude, all the life is dead. All the life is dead. Ain't nothing to survive this. Ain't nothing that survived this. Once this is over, springtime, all the fucking life is gonna be fucking extinct up here. Ain't nothing that survived this. I'll be goddamn. Springtime rolled around, everything bloomed back to life, and I don't understand how that works. I don't understand how that works. The deer and the bears and the goddamn mountain lions, and what the fuck do they do when it's negative 30? It's a matrix we live in, y'all. Just a big ol' ass simulation. I'm convinced of it. Big ol' ass simulation, boy. Anyway, though, it is about time for me to go ahead and jump on out of here. I just wanted to hop in and say what's up to y'all for a little bit. I'm putting in an effort to start coming back on this channel more often. So, yeah, I'm gonna be a busy old ass boy today. Don't know when I'm gonna be on here next, though. I don't know. I haven't figured out the little schedule that I want to do. I don't know if I want to do it on the weekends or I don't know. So anyway, I will try to make it a point to be on my main channel. I highly doubt I'm going to be able to do the weekly forecast. I don't know. I could get a fire lit up under my ass, maybe, possibly, but I'm not planning on that. But I'll try to make it a point to see y'all later on at some point on my main channel. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.